This is really exciting. Today I'm starting on Treebeard from Lord of the Rings. Treebeard, not an actual licensed product, but inspired by. And so I sent this picture to my customer and explained that it was going to be, the hair and the beard was going to be from this pine root ball. So what I'm going to do is this will be the bottom of the beard here, like the beard here, his mouth, eyes, and then wild and crazy hair is the idea. So I'm going to cut this piece here off. I'm going to leave this one, and some of this is fragile, so I'm going to be very careful, try not to break it off. And I'm going to cut this piece here, which is currently part of the tripod, off right here. And to make it stable, I'll take you to the back and show you what I'm going to do. See how big the trunk is there? So if I take that trunk and I cut the bottom of it flat, then without this extra weight over here making it want to roll this way, it should be enough so that that lays flat. So I'm going to cut that so that this is like a kickstand, a big wide 12-inch kickstand. And so with that kickstand back there, that 12 inches wide, that's going to stabilize it, I think, once I get this weight off over here, and then it will force it to stabilize when I take this piece out. So I've got to shoot my imaginary straight line here and make sure that my leveled place in the back is exactly, perpendicular. It's got to be at 90 degrees. This piece here has to be exactly at 90 degrees in the back to that stabilizing piece. And once I get it stable and I can see how it will sit, because we talked about it in terms of it being as big as a deck chair, so I suspect it's going to sit outside. Once I get it stable, then I'll start working in here. And I want to remove as little as possible, but start defining the eyes, the edges of the beard, the mouth, the nose, so that it looks a lot like, if you saw any of the, let's see, what were they? I don't know, it was a pirate movie with Johnny Depp where he was like a barnacled thing in the wall. Kind of that idea. I want him to be coming out of the tree and be as blended into the bark and natural features as possible. So let's get cutting. So my straight line is here. And so I'm going to test and see if when I rock it forward, does it rock forward along the same plane, or does it rock off to one side? So I'll pull it straight forward and it rocks. This is wonderful. Today I'm just going to wear my ear protection and my chaps and sling the sawdust away from my face, because I won't be turning the saw over, so it shouldn't pitch debris into my face. So here we go. Straight line down this way, and then 90 degrees here. And I'm going to go right across the middle. And then when I come into that line, I'm going to start with a cut. It's about like that. And since we're learning as we go, I may have to change that. Here we go. Nice wedge cut off of there, so that this will behave like my kickstand. And roll it back. See how close I got. Okay, that's pretty good. Good, good, good. So it'll be a kickstand so that now when I cut this big piece off, all of that weight is gone. So it shouldn't roll this way. That's my theory anyway. So let's do that one next. All right, I'm gonna cut this leg of the tripod off, and I'm gonna try to keep these two pieces here because they're like beard pieces. All right, so I left these pieces here for the beard, and I'll save this for some other fun, quirky something. That looks like a something, doesn't it? I don't know what it is. Maybe even this way might be a fun, another face with some crazy hair. Let's see if I can get this big thing picked up without hurting me and without breaking parts of it off. Oh, that's not too bad. I gotta hobble along here a little bit, but that's not bad. Now, sit it here on my barnwood bench, catch my breath. We can test it right here. Look at this. There, now, woohoo! That works really quite well. I need to cut a little bit more of that off so it's a better platform, but that's good. So I've got it balanced here, but it's pretty delicate balance. It wouldn't take much to knock it over. But I did this on purpose. I lined it up with the crack in my bench so that I can, by eye, with my smaller saw, I need to get some of this dirt off of here. I'm bunging up my chain to stop and sharpen here, so that I can take my smaller saw and just gently, delicately cut a slice here that is in the same plane of, because that would cut it through here. But if you could imagine a plane from here up, it's going to be on that plane, so that the rocking back and forth will stop. A little saw. Come here, little saw. This is good. All right. So the reason I'm making so much of a ado about how this is going to set up is because I've learned the hard way after I've gotten a sculpture completely finished. I'm happy with it. It's perfect as far as my skill and my customer, and the bottom's all messed up. Oh, look at that. That is really quite good. Oh man, that's good. All right, now I'm gonna, let's see. I'm gonna clean this up a little bit. I'm gonna take some of this off because I don't want that rotten mess to be on there as part of the stand. It's okay for that to be part of the beard and the hair, but might have some wormy friends in there. Let me get you a close up. All right, so good solid wood in the middle, good solid wood across the bottom, and then there was a lot of wormy, very fragile, very soft wood up both sides. So there's plenty of stability there for my kickstand, but I stopped, and what I might do is go all the way through so that I just have this nice round with a flared bottom, like a mermaid tail. I don't know, I gotta think about that a little bit. But that gets it to sit up straight. Solid, flat. See the bottom of it where it is all smoothed out? So now it sits flat on about 6 inches there, maybe 7, and then in the back, it's a good foot across, so making it very stable. Oh, I have a Carolina wren over here visiting. Let's see if we can get her. Hello, little birdie. Hello. Are you coming for some worms? This might be the same one, or maybe they all know this trick, but this Carolina wren likes to come and look for my worms, the worms that come out of my chainsaw carvings. So yesterday she was here. Oh, she's hiding in the wood. She was here yesterday, or day before maybe, and she got 2 really big, fat, juicy ones. She was so excited. She got breakfast, and she doesn't seem to be afraid of me at all. In fact, she'll come right down to my feet. And if that's where the worms are, that's where she's going to be. So cool. Thank you, Lord, for the sweet little birdie that comes and eats my worms. All right, the next thing I'm going to do is take a brush and probably a thin screwdriver. And I'm just going to work all around in here and try to get the dirt out, see how much dirt there is here. Because when I give it to the customer, if I leave bark like this or any kind of thing like this, I want it to be clean, meaning insects, no spiders, and no chunks of dirt falling off. That's not okay. And if with a brush of the brush it comes off like that just did, well, then it's just got to come off. So let me get the brush and get going on that. Oh, no! Look at my coffee. Can you see my coffee? Here, let's do a close-up of my coffee. Look at that! My coffee is ruined, unless I want a lot of fiber in my diet. I'm gonna go get some more coffee and then brush this thing clean.
Turned out to be about 4 hours of removing dirt and bark and insects. There were a lot of ants, termites, lots and lots and lots of cleanup going on here. So I just decided to settle in with my cup of coffee and take my time and just do what I need to do. Hold the cup up in the air, try to keep the dirt out of it. It was a good time.
So that's all I'm gonna do here and film, because it's gonna take me a while and it's the same boring thing over and 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 over. But I'm just gonna keep getting the dirt out. I've gotten a lot out already, and it's changing shapes. It doesn't look like I thought it was going to. So my idea of what it should look like will probably be different, and it may not even be looking the same way. Could be very different. We'll see. I've got about 90% of the dirt out of here now, and what it revealed to my light and uncertainty is that this piece here has a path all the way behind it. So where I thought the face was going to be, I thought was a solid piece of wood, but it's not. So I'm going to go at this from two options in a true come learn with me style. I'm going to try to put a face here, and it's going to be tinkering to see if I can take this whole piece out right here and see if there's enough material behind it to sink a face in it, and then it will be looking this way. That is a little suspect because the wood down here is so soft, and I'll have to take this whole hump out right here to get a beard to flow the right direction. But it might still be okay. Now, if that does not work out, this is plan B. I'm going to turn this around and actually put the face right here. So I'll cut off almost all of this right here and then angle the face out like this and start putting in nose, eyes, forehead. And that is really, it's really not bad. I kind of like that one better. The reason it's B, however, is two-part. One, ooh, there's some sticky still coming out of there. Two-part. One is that it'll have to then be hung because there's no way to really support itself. And then the second thing is that I really, really, really like the gnarled look of this side. And it's just so cool. Hard to replace what nature itself can do. And so I'm going to start here. Found him. This is so cool. So the technique I call it in the feature push the face back. So in other words, pick a feature that is the furthest out. So like the end of the nose is the furthest out. And you keep digging gently with the saw and pushing the face back until the nose appears. And then I push back until the mustache appears. Push back until the mouth appears. Push back until the bottom of, what do you call this? Where the bridge of the nose starts to meet the eye sockets. Push it back into there. And then find the eyes. And you'll notice brows up here, here. I tried the eye in 3 different places. And it works really good as you're pushing the face back because then it just looks like forehead. So I put the eye here here first, and then I spread it out, and then I put it here, and then there might be another one right there, and until I find out where I really wanted it. Same thing on this side, so that you get that rounded forehead, and you don't miss. Like for me, if I just stick the saw in there and say this is where the eye's going to go, not. So I work my way up to it. And so I'm very excited about this. Very pleased. I don't know if you turned the face. It was over here further, but I kept removing this, all in the mouth, and move some more, redraw the mouth. And I'd still rather have it over this way a little bit further, but I'm running out of material. Well, that's not true. I could still do it. But what is my reason? It's starting to look good, is my reason. I don't want to mess with it. When the face starts to come together, I do kind of some of the features go wherever they want to go based on the features that are coming together. So next step here is going to be with the Dremel. And if I can, see this big chunk out of his nose? I'm going to make a decision. Do I keep pushing the face back so that the full nose doesn't have a big chunk out of it? Or since it's a face in a tree, does it really matter? Maybe it'll add to it. Since he is Treebeard, if he looks like a tree, isn't that what we're after? So we'll see. So I'm going to take the Dremel and define the eyes and get those right, put in the eyebrows, and some crow's feet on the outside edges of this to give age. And then I'll form the cheeks and see what the nose looks like at that point. Maybe, I don't know. So I'm saying all of this stuff like this is exactly what I'm going to do, but if you've watched very many of my videos, you'll realize that learning process is more of a hypothesis. You just say, okay, this is what I think I'm going to do. This is how I think it's going to work. As you cut, you'll go, not exactly what I thought. So stay faithful to the idea of trial and error, because that's really what we're doing here. And in this, a lot of trial and error, because the wood that was on the outside was so fragile, so bug-eaten, just crumbled out into my hands. And I'm finally getting into some wood that's fairly stable. And I was able to leave of the root ball to give him that wild hair look. So anyway, I'm very excited. I'm very happy, and I'm going to conclude this portion, this carving session. It's getting really hot. It's the middle of July here in Tennessee, and my carving yard, thankfully, is under a huge sycamore tree. But even then, the sun eventually gets me, and it gets too hot. So I'll be back with another carving session shortly.